Hello. Recently, I had powered off my Sparkmaker printer for probably 2 days. Cleaned it out, cleaned it off, emptied it, and let it sit for 2 days, unplugged. When I plugged it back in to go to print again, the fan just is grinding on something. There's an example of this in a previous video I did. You power it on and it just kind of whirs and grinds on something. I'm not sure what.
That ain't right.
I emailed WoW support, and they said it's probably just a cable in a fan. So they want me to open it up and move the cables around, which, sure, I guess I'll do that. So that's what I'm going to be doing here. So I'll basically be following the operating guide. Instructions covers a lot of the actual disassembly. I did not read this through these sections previously, so it's going to be, a usual learning experience, which this printer is just full of. Obviously, I'm going to take off the tank first. Set that somewhere where it won't get scratched up on the bottom. And then we want to remove these bottom screws. Now hold on the Z-axis arm here. Screw and a washer. So we got 3 of these. Alright, those 3 are out. And we're going to remove these. Oh, that's a small hex for these 4 right here. And these ones have the, it's a little nut on the inside in here. There it goes. I just heard it fall down. Get these out of here. A little magnetized driver would definitely help with that. But I don't have a magnetized hex wrench. Let's see. All 4 of the nuts fall? They did. We got our 4 nuts from underneath. The knob is held on by 2 screws underneath this notice. Very important sticker to put over some very important screws. Small hex here. Of course, during this whole procedure, you want to be careful not to scratch up your LCD there. It is quite exposed. It does seem like the knob's just going to be loosely floating in there after I undo these screws, though. That might be a pain in the ass. We got there. This label here was over these screws. Had to peel that label off. Boom, there you go. Got screws, remove screws. So now we very carefully lift this up. There are ribbon cables in here somewhere that we don't want to break. It is kind of a tight fit. The LED panel is a little bit wide and is rubbing up against the fan housings. Like I said, I definitely don't want to just yank on shit. Ah, there we go. A little wiggle back and forth, and eventually it comes loose. And like I said, the button is just floating here. So definitely want to make sure keep that in the right spot, keep it from moving. So what I'm looking for is cables or wires in the fan, which I see none of. See if I can remove this LCD ribbon cable. I gotta get behind the cable with my spudger. So usually the little black bar in there should flip up, but not able to get behind it enough to flip it up properly. Got it. So with that ribbon out of the way, I feel more confident that these, the power cables, the red and black power cables, will be a lot more resilient to moving around. But I definitely don't see anything in the fans. Just grab my power supply here. May as well plug it in and see what we get with it open like this. Yep, there is nothing in those fans. That's not what we want. I'll be getting a replacement for this fan. We can definitely do a video when I install that fan. It's going to be a little bit more, pulling more of these cables out in order to get in there with a, it looks like it just needs a normal wrench, some small nuts. Oh, I see. It's a hex bolt right through here, through the side of the housing. So there's a hex bolt through the side of the housing here with a nut on the inside. See that white bar right there? That's where the LCD ribbon cable would slide in, this end of it here. And then there's a little black bar that flips down to lock it in place. And as I said, the button fixture is just loose right here. It just kind of floats in there on its power wires. Looks like there's a little bit of dust in there I need to clean out. I got a mess to clean up, and I'll be back next time with installing new fans. That ain't right.